Hey urban gardeners! So we've been so impressed with the 3 other Hugelkultur mounds that we've built, we decided to up the ante and design a spiral Hugelkultur bed that will not only look sexy, but produce a ton of corn, melons, and pole beans. So join us as we walk you through the steps of how to create a long-lasting, no-water spiral garden bed. Our first step was establishing the design beforehand using string and scrap wood. All said and done, the spiral bed will be a 30-foot long, 3 feet wide, and roughly 2 feet deep garden bed. Once the design was laid out, it was time to dig. I started off by ripping out the grass weed layer with a pickaxe and placing that grass into the pathway, which I will use later when it comes time to refill the hole. That heavy, dense green manure will add important organic matter into the mix and will also help to bring the soil temperature up. I'm not gonna lie, this was a massive project and it took a ton of work. A little backhoe would have been awesome, but there's also nothing quite like the sense of accomplishment from digging something out by hand. When the hole was finally dug, Spirit really didn't know what to think about it. Was it the beginning of a skate park? A place to bury bones?
Whoa, dude!
It was worth exploring the options. Next, it was time to get the wood. We're fortunate enough to live 5 minutes away from endless forest. At the first opportunity, I pulled over to a creek and filled the car with the wettest wood I could find.
That'll do.
Some of the wood we found was inoculated with mushrooms, which would be great for the garden bed. In fact, I expect all 4 Hugelkultur mounds to sprout mushrooms in the near future. We combined the wood from the forest with another carload I got free on Craigslist. We interspersed the 2 types of wood throughout the bed to ensure that the water content throughout the bed was consistent. At this point, we put all of the green manure in between the wood and watered it down one last time to really soak everything down. Ideally, you'd wait for a winter and let rains really get after it, but we want to plant in it now. And there you have it, only not quite. As you can see, the soil that we dug up has a super high clay content, so it's not actually that great for growing food in. So we decided to juice it up with some nutrients first. I dug a little trench 3 to 4 inches down and put in some finished bokashi. For the rest of it, we put in some bokashi that was still breaking down, which is really great for this dry dirt. Basically, this is just moldy compost, or as the worms call it, dinner. We've used this in other beds before and have had phenomenal results. The other bucket is just some compost juice, which I poured over the length of the bed. On the side of the house, we've got a couple comfrey plants. Comfrey mulch is a slow-release fertilizer that is best used under fruiting vegetables and edible perennials. So I just grabbed a few leaves and scattered them over the mound. Next, it was time to add a thick layer of compost from our compost bin. We got about 7 wheelbarrows of fresh, sifted compost, packed with critters and future citizens of the spiral garden. We took the compost and dumped it onto the comfrey plants that we had scattered out and fine-tuned the edges of our spiral. Finally, we added straw to keep in the heat and moisture. Since this is a first-year Hugelkultur, we'll probably be watering it when necessary, but hopefully by next year it will be a self-watering system. The beauty of gardening is that you can make it your own. Be creative, experiment, and have fun. Join the urban gardening revolution.